everyone. We're back with another Fridays with Fidelman. I'm Cheryl Fidelman, life coach, trauma healer, and writer. It is Friday the 13th, March 2020. And today's topic on Fridays with Fidelman is coronavirus, codependence, and connection. Okay, so the reason why I talk about, and I say this all the time, and I don't mind just, playing the role of broken record, which is the reason why I focus on codependence as a trauma healer is because I believe that codependence is the most obvious way in which we demonstrate our unhealed trauma in relationship to others and, most importantly, in relationship to ourselves. Now, when I chose the topic for today, I was kind of hesitant because I was thinking, well, it's not like we need another talking head talking about the coronavirus right now. We're sort of overwhelmed with it. But since it's a burning topic, it's on my mind as well. It's in the air. It's hanging in the zeitgeist. I thought it necessary to not overlook it. And I also noticed that the reason why I'm connecting it to codependence is because so my three tenets of codependence, the want to be wanted, the need to be needed, and or wanting to prove oneself, and then overarching that is just overarching basic definition of codependence, which is that my experience depends on another person's experience, or your experience depends on another person's experience. The way that you're thinking, the way you're feeling, what you're wanting in a moment, what you're needing in a moment, what you're trying to prove in the moment is dependent on another person. And so I think that is really sort of heightened in this coronavirus fear, scare, reality, pandemic, whatever it is that we want to call it, because our experience, whether we've been personally affected by the virus or indirectly, friend or family, or not, there's something happening in the human community that our experience is dependent on. There's fear, there's uncertainty, there's so many different predictions, not just even predictions, but like actually what's happening in the current moment. Do we know? Is this a rapidly spreading thing, as rapidly as people say? It's a quadrupled in the last 2 weeks. Some people say that, well, the same vaccine for the SARS virus will work on the coronavirus. And then there's some people that say, no way, we're so far from getting a vaccine. So there's so much uncertainty happening out there. How much is your personal experience hanging on the uncertainty that is external to you, based on all of this news, and how much precaution, and how much should you stay inside, how much should you not stay inside? And then there's some people who are like not even thinking about it or concerned about it. So look at how much we are impacted by the human community right now. So much so that it's like, how do we have the experience of life right now when a lot of the experience of life is focused on this virus and its uncertainty? How is that impacting your experience of safety in your body, in your home, and beyond? I would go so far as to say that it's possible that it's triggering what is already your relationship to safety. It's triggering what is already your nervous system's go-to for fight or flight. So how is your reaction reminiscent of the way you sort of already roll, the way you sort of already operate in uncertain times and uncertain situations, whether it's an uncertain relationship or an uncertain context at work, or in the uncertain future of the entering into our species of this new virus. In general, when the human spirit gets afraid or challenged, it takes action or it gets paralyzed. And so that also known as fight or flight. So I have decided to take action because I've noticed that, in this time, I'm like, it's a time like this where it's so obvious how connected we are. Because, I went to Trader Joe's and it was like really busy and so many things were sold out. And I was thinking, my experience right now in Trader Joe's is being impacted by the community, by the Trader Joe's community, which is being impacted by the world at large. Now, it's so obvious in a moment like this, but when there is no, pandemic looming, I may go to Trader Joe's and have like a pretty chill time and everything is pretty well stocked. And I may not be able to stop and think like my experience is being impacted right now. My experience, this is not a great example, but my experience at Trader Joe's prior to the coronavirus was like pretty chill. I'd go in and they would have what I needed, and there was nobody who seemed to be, rushing or like hoarding or getting everything that they can. And so my experience always depends on the community's experience. Because if everybody seems regulated, then it's easy for me to be regulated. If everybody doesn't seem regulated, then I am like either really doing my practices to have create some level of regulation within myself, or I'm going, what's going on here? Do I need to suss the situation, right? Do I need to strategize? Do I need to protect? Do I need to defend? And so we are so connected whether there's a pandemic happening or not. We affect each other worldwide whether there's a pandemic happening or not. I have clients all over the world, in different countries, thousands and thousands of miles away, who are dealing with similar human, just dealing with what it is to be alive, that is common with them in North Africa, in New Zealand, in Germany, in LA, in North Carolina, in Texas. It's so similar. And even though, as codependence, a really strong, even though a big symptom, if you will, of codependence is people pleasing, another one is also isolation. And as much because there's such a heightened level of dysregulation when we're around other people, that isolation is sometimes the most regulating thing we can possibly, provide for ourselves. We are interconnected, whether we steal these experiences of isolation for ourselves or not, that we are impacting each other, and it is profitable to use a time like this, a time in this don't touch, stay home, wash your hands, a time in this sort of like heightened, I want to say self-consciousness, not the best word to use right now, to notice that the reason why we need to watch the extent to which we connect and shake hands and sanitize is because we want to actually diminish our level of connection, because we live in more connection than we give ourselves credit for. So I'm taking action to create community during this time, to use this time as a chance to bring us together, because, thankfully and gratefully, most of my job is on the computer. So I see some clients in person, but most of them I see on the computer, and I do my group programs on the computer. So we don't have to worry about coughing on each other and touching each other. So I'm using this time to bring us all together in my Trust Yourself Facebook group. We're going to be doing a masterclass Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and it's called Trauma to Trust. Trauma to Truth, and we're going to be going over my 3 tenets of codependence. Day 1 will be the want to be wanted. Day 2, the need to be needed. Day 3 will cover the need to prove oneself. You'll get homework assignments the night before. I'm including the link to join. It's free, it's live, it's for us to come together and actually be together during this time where being together is a questionable act during this coronavirus pandemic. And so we're going to be together. It's going to be a time to heal. Rather than just being afraid of not getting a virus, we're actually going to come together and heal and be in abundance. Heal. We will heal some of your very specific codependent patterns and release your true self, your true nature in certain areas of your life. So that'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I will stay in the Facebook group for a few days live to answer some questions from the masterclass. But if you want to join the masterclass, the link is right below this video. So let's use this time together to actually come together and heal, as opposed to, staying together, staying apart just to not get infected. I love you all. You are awesome. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this video if you know of anybody that may profit from watching it, or may profit from liking my videos. If they can be a source of healing and inspiration to people that you know, please share them. And we'll see you in the masterclass. Super easy to join. The link below this video. The masterclass is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in my Trust Yourself Facebook group. Live and free Trauma to Trust masterclass. Happy Friday. Have an awesome weekend. Happy healing. You are awesome, and life is now. Bye. One more thing. I know a million people are saying this, but if I can just do one more thing to put my 2 cents in about the coronavirus. I don't know a whole lot about, I'm not a medical health professional, but I do want to strongly suggest immune boosters. Immune boosters. Take them in the morning, take them at night. Just keep yourself as strong and healthy as you possibly can. All right. Love you again. Bye.